I cannot tell you what a great pleasure it is for my wife and I to be back in Kenya once again. I am enormously grateful to you, Mr. President, Madam First Lady, for your most generous invitation to make this state visit. The tremendous hospitality you have shown us and the wonderfully warm welcome that you and the people of Kenya have extended to us have touched me deeply. If I may say so, it is particularly special to be able to return to this extraordinary country in the 60th year of your independence. Today, Mr. President, you and I stood by the mighty Mugumo tree, which marks the spot where almost 60 years ago the Kenyan flag was first raised. It seemed to me that the tree is thriving, strong and deeply rooted, just as this great republic and her people continue to thrive. It means a great deal to my wife and myself that in our coronation year, our first state visit to a Commonwealth country should bring us here to Kenya. We both take considerable pride in renewing the ties between the United Kingdom and Kenya, a country that has long held such special meaning for my family. Najisikia kama Niko Nyumbani. Now, it is well known, I think, that my dear mother, the late Queen, had a particular affection for Kenya and the Kenyan people. She arrived here in 1952, a princess, but left as Queen. It is extremely moving to read her diary from that visit, in which she wrote that she did not want to miss a moment of Kenya's extraordinary landscapes. I really cannot thank you enough for the support Kenya gave her through that difficult time. 10 years later, my father, the late Duke of Edinburgh, attended the celebrations of Kenya's independence. To mark the occasion, Her late Majesty wrote to President Jomo Kenyatta to convey her sincere hope that with God's guidance, Kenya would prosper and that her people would have peace and contentment in full measure. Nearly 50 years later, it was here, in sight of Mount Kenya, that my son, the Prince of Wales, proposed to his wife, now my beloved daughter-in-law. For my part, I recall, as if it were yesterday, my first visit to Kenya in 1971 with my sister, the Princess Royal. I was, it is fair to say, somewhat younger then, and I can well remember the meeting I had with President Jomo Kenyatta, a towering statesman who inspired such great admiration, affection, and respect. On subsequent visits here, I was most fortunate to be able to spend some time with Kenyan conservationists, from whose profound knowledge of their environment I learned so much. Among them was the late great environmentalist and Nobel Prize winner, Wangari Maathai, someone whom I greatly admired and loved. And I'm very much looking forward to spending a little time with her daughter this week and to planting a tree in her mother's memory. As Wangari Maathai said, when we plant trees, we plant the seeds of peace and seeds of hope. We also secure the future for our children. This is a sentiment that, as avid dendrophiles, lovers of trees, I know, Mr. President, that you and I share. Indeed, having been planting trees for most of my life, I thought I was doing rather well. But your ambition to plant 15 billion trees makes me look rather more critically at my own efforts.